Howdy. I figured I would talk about my preferences in sound because I've had some people say or expect me to just pretty much be like a dark set guy. I suppose because the EJ07 is considered a dark set, which it's not. People are a little insane about that. It's kind of like Special Sauce is that it has such a clean mid and mid-bass shelf. And there's something other magic going on because it's got maybe like 8 or 9 dB of pinna gain, 2.5K, but you can turn that thing up to the stratosphere and it makes the details pop like crazy. Nice extension, nice twinkle details, the ultra 3D stage, and then you don't get any mid-bass bloat. So to me it sounds highly 3D, highly staging, like I'm in a room, like I'm in an environment. And so my preferences for sound are actually, it's not a specific graph or tuning, it's that I feel like I'm being surrounded by sound, like as if I'm in a room, and like sort of the bigger the experience, the better, if that makes sense. There's a lot of headphones I've heard that are like very much in my head and like between my eyes type of thing, in my face. If I ever say that sort of stuff, you know that I'm not going to like it. That's basically how that works. For instance, I think that I would say probably dynamic driver sets are easier for me to like because they tend to not extend too high, and so that means that the way my brain processes that is a little more of a three-dimensional type thing. It has to be good tunings, of course, but in general that works better. And then lots of balanced armature sets, like many balanced armatures in a set. Many of those are tuned with just basically too high detail levels, high mids, and that makes the stage sort of collapse for myself. And so, yeah, it's just not a particular graph. It is more the way the sound hits my brain in staging in 3 dimensions, and like for instance the Mest, super wide, super wide, super detailed, but the depth of the sound and like the surround effect was like maybe medium for me versus like oh my god, like an EJ styled. So another example is the RSV, which for me is highly holographic, and it is an all balanced armature set, but the way I figure that is that they must have hit my head related transfer function. So like basically the graph where the way the treble rolls down on that must be really close to the way my brain processes it in reality. So yeah, my tunings in general that I would make for people, or that I intend to make a headphone company of sorts, in-ear monitor company. I'm working up to this. I can't just be doing mods forever. It's just ridiculous. It's fun, but it's ridiculous to make videos about this where nobody can get their hands on them. Yeah, you can expect my tunings to be highly 3D. I would say that I might have some other ones like bass head, super treble, right? But even if I have super extended treble, like the faux hammer, like Glamdring, I would say that even then that has some really sick staging, really sick, although it edges on the side of extension versus the ultimate in 3D. But is what it is. I can do better than that, but that's the way the graph is, and that's the way the tuning was supposed to be. I think also I've talked to some folks that think I'm entirely insane. There's some guys in sound science that basically say that there is just no way that in-ear monitors can sound in a room. They can't stage like that. There's no sound has no delays bouncing off the walls, no phasing artifacts that would be natural. But my argument with that is basically that I think that, at least for some people, if you can get it close enough in tuning to where that might hit your brain, then it creates it fools your brain, right? It's an effect that makes your brain interpret things more of in a 3D space and more natural in a room than if just sound being pumped directly to the sides of your head through in-ears. So hopefully that explains a little bit to folks. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else. I do come from the bass head side of things, so I appreciate some awesome bass, but the more I tune things, the more I realize that having a big huge sub bass smash, the less chance I'm going to have an amazing, and I mean amazing, 3D stage. You could have a good 3D stage, like good, but amazing and like holy shit, that kind of stuff, probably not. There's ways to do it, but I do think that you would have to have a lot of venting open back styled venting to be able to accomplish that. And that means that the subs are going to be hard to pull into that picture. But you know, that's one of the things. So yeah, may start a headphone. Well, I'm going to definitely try to start a headphone company. One of the things is that I do computers, and I don't know if I'm going to be doing that into my old age. So it's intense, shall we just say. I would rather have a little more of a forgiving, relaxing career in, I won't call it passive income, but you know, closer to that rather than running around with my head cut off every day. So right on. I'll talk to you on the next one.